Mr. Ace Michael.
I feel good. I knew that I would now. I feel good. I knew that I would. So good. So good. I got you. I feel nice. Sugar and spice. I feel nice. Sugar and spice. So nice. So nice. I got you. Come on, y'all. When I hold you in my arms, know that I can't do no wrong. When I hold you in my arms, can't do me no harm. And I feel, I knew that I would. I feel good. I knew that I would. So good, so good. I got you. So we are recording, and I'm going to start the show. It is the Ace Michael Show. Welcome aboard. For the mothership is about to take off for real. We have a fabulous. She's been on the show before, so you guys already know she's fabulous. Writer, comedian, actress, producer, director. Kacey Spivey is with us. And it used to be uncommon for somebody to have so many credits like that. People would think, come on, you give me a break, Woody Allen. You're going to do everything? Everything? But now, I mean, that's kind of the way it goes. If you really want to get it done, you got to do it yourself. Right, Kacey?
Yes. Yeah. It's funny because when I started doing my own stuff, I was really self-conscious about that. I'm like, am I really acting and directing and producing and writing all of my own stuff? Like, should I take a title down? And I edit too, so I edit my own stuff. So I'm like, should I say I'm not doing all this stuff and just focus on
Right.
one? And I was like, no, it's if you're really doing the job, then you can really say you're doing it.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I really am doing all of it. So,
And you don't need to come up with pseudonyms like, you don't need to be like, no, this was Kacey Spivey who worked on that. And yeah, exactly. The days are gone of the Prince era anonymous writing for someone. And, hey, you wrote it, it's good, and you want to take credit for it. Now, tell the audience a little bit about, because you have a lot of credits in a very short amount of time, actually. You've done a lot with a little.
Thank you. It's weird. It doesn't. Sometimes I'm like, why haven't I done more? What am I doing? And then I'm like, wait, no, I've only even been in LA, I think 3.5 years. So yeah, it's it seems slow day to day, but yeah, you're right. It is a lot in a little bit of time.
Now, when we met, you had just won an award for a film that you had written and directed. Tell us again about that.
Yeah, so that was #Amish. That was my short film that I wrote and directed and produced, same thing, edited, all of that, and I was in it. and it went to SoCal Film Festival, so that was great. And I was nominated for Best Actress, which was fun.
Wow.
And yeah, it was really great. I don't think I had been to, yes, I had. I was trying to decide if I had been to it before I talked to you or not. But yeah, they had like a red carpet, and we did some Facebook Live from that, and it was really fun. So you can see all that on the Facebook page. It's hashtag Amish. Just spell out hashtag, and you can find it.
Now, is there a place we can go? Can we watch the movie somewhere online?
Yes, you can watch it on the Facebook page. Yeah, so we decided to stop. Once we got that festival, we were like, you know what, this is really a web-based project anyways. So we decided just to go ahead and put it on the Facebook page. So you can go ahead and watch it.
So we can watch the whole movie on your Kacey Spivey page on Facebook.
On the Facebook page is hashtag Amish. So
hashtag Amish, okay.
Mm-hmm. So the movie has its own Facebook page.
Nice. And how long is it? Is it like a 20-minute short, or is it feature
I
length?
think it's like 15
minutes.
minutes.
It's a 3-hour epic.
Yeah, exactly. Just an 8-part miniseries.
Right. You got, just binge watch the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what's funny was I was reading an article years ago when we used to read articles, and now we just watch them on the internet. Anyway, I was reading this article. This reporter had gotten to interview Prince, and Prince was very elusive and, reclusive artist. No one interviews Prince, So Prince's demand was that all of the reporters that were going to interview him had to listen to his entire new album before they asked him one single question. Like, you come to the studio, you're going to sit down, you're going to listen to the beginning, 18 songs later, then we'll talk. And I thought that is really an extreme request. Although now at my age and being in this and knowing artists like you, I kind of think that's, hey man, know what you're talking about my stuff before you contact me. Like, I don't want to talk to you if you didn't even listen, you didn't even read my book.
Yeah, I've done interviews where I'm like, we're talking and stuff, and they start talking about something that I'm like, why are you talking? What? Where are you? And they had just like pulled up my IMDb page and are scrolling through my IMDb page like everything has the same weight, and I'm like, that is a short film I did in college.
Right.
What are you talking about? Why don't you look at Glee or something? Like, why are we on?
They're like, tell us a little bit about Buttermuffin. You're like, Buttermuffin, dude. Really?
I don't know. Like.
What was it like being an extra in a Big Daddy Kane video?
Exactly. Exactly.
Funny.
So I get that, because I was like, God, this person they have no idea what they're talking about or why, So I get it. You get a more informed interview if you know what you're talking about, which you do. You always, know what you're talking about. So
cheat sheet, baby. Cheat sheet. Cliff notes, baby. Cliff notes. No, what can I say? I try to emulate Anderson Cooper in everything I do, actually. But anyway, but you're an easy one to research because you're doing stuff that is, now this is the weird part about it. You're doing stuff that is putting you at the forefront in that you're a woman doing it. And that's very unfair. Because that is what it is, though. You know what I'm saying? It's like, remember they used to say stuff like, the first gay screenwriter. And it'd be like, what? Why does that, so how did you even put those two words together? You know what I mean? But there's a lot in this industry. There's a lot of kudos you get for being a woman who's directing, because there are so few female directors. And that's so sad about it. Would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, it's weird because I don't think there are few female directors. I just think that they're waiting to kind of get up the pipeline. If you saw Jessica Jones, that TV show, their new season is directed. Every single director for every episode is a female.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, which is amazing. It's amazing because it's putting 10 or 12 or how many episodes they have, women through that step that a lot of people kind of don't get. It's like, you need credits to get the next job, to get the next job, to get the next job. Mm-hmm. And if you're stuck at one spot and you can't break through, I feel like that's where a lot of, not just women, but even, people of, diverse backgrounds, stuff like that. You tend to kind of get stuck. You have the talent and you have the training and whatever, but you're stuck at the opportunity gate, and letting people through that. Then they're, I think, gonna reach back and go, oh, look, I know this person and this person and this person, and they don't look like what you guys on the other side of the fence looked like. That's great. So
that's a very good point. Yeah, that's a very good. Like, I was just thinking about it as you were saying. I don't recall ever seeing a director sitting in a wheelchair, for example, and directing a scene. So there definitely is kind of still in Hollywood, the most beautiful place on earth. There still is a misconception about who should and who shouldn't do certain jobs, and that's very sad. What do you think now that we have a new president? Do you think that the entertainment business may become more or less diverse?
I mean, it was a big question for me, because I was like, what did America just say?
Right.
What? Because, I'm in California, so we're all, hippie progressive, and we think everyone is like into eating kale. And we're like, wait a second. The rest of the country still believes that a man is better suited in a leadership position than a female. And that might not have been the reason for the vote in any way, shape, or form. But I watched the interviews of people who were literally at the rally saying things like that. And I was just like, I can't believe people still think this way. But there is a lot of proof that in times like this, art tends to really, really prevail and really retaliate. And I think there's going to be a lot of great art that comes out of it. And I think there's going to be a lot of people who are artists of all kinds of, shapes, sizes, and colors that are coming forward going, you know what, I now have the fuel and ammunition to get my piece across, and to make what I think is important heard. And so it might be a good time for art.
Now, Kacey, you seem very intelligent.
Thank you.
Do you think
I just got my blonde hair redone, and I went out of the chair and I was like, oh my gosh, I think I just regressed 100 points in intelligence. But so thank you for telling me that.
Do you think a person has to be intelligent to do what you do? Like, do you think somebody could just put it together, or I have a friend, Jack Black is a friend of mine, and people love Jack's character on screen, but what they don't understand is that Jack's character on screen is Jack. That he's 100% like that anytime I've ever seen him anywhere. Yeah. That's just who he is. And that doesn't mean he's not intelligent, but that just is kind of saying that, if you make movies about bong water and smoking a lot of weed, and you smoke a lot of weed and you change a lot of bong water, is that really, what I'm saying? Like, do you have to be super smart to write, produce, and direct a movie? Or can you just find a wheelhouse and be like, hey, I'm going to make a movie about what I know, which is this?
I think that you have to be really resourceful, and I think you have to be street smart. I don't think you necessarily have to be book smart. You're not, you don't have to be a person who gets aces every test and, goes to Yale or Harvard or anything. I mean, a lot of people in the industry didn't even go to college, but they are really, really smart in the way they handle relationships and in the way that they position themselves. Even Jack Black, he's positioning himself in front of an audience in a very particular way. He decided with his marketing, with the character, he decided to be himself instead of, negate himself. And he decided to hang out with the right people and be friendly to, it's more of a game of chess than anything else. You don't go to Hollywood and say, here's my resume and I got this score on the ACT. They're like, okay. Right. it's definitely more of a hustle. And I think if you're street smart and you're reading and staying informed and knowing who's who and knowing what's going on and knowing about business and how to make money based on whatever product you're selling, I think that's really what gets you further than anything else. But I think you do have to be, you can't just like mosey around. Some people who are really beautiful can come in and people are like, oh, just be in this movie. But then that's all you're going to be, you know?
In this movie.
Yeah, hey, just read the script and just stand there and we'll all work around you. But what I'm doing, you know, I'm pushing to create my own content, and that's a very different hustle.
Right. And when you're directing, you don't necessarily have to talk to your cinematographer about which lenses. Like, you may not know, like, are we using a 72 or a 55? I don't know, man. Just give me the shot and let's start rocking, right? I mean, I don't know. I'm asking.
Yeah, I mean, it's really, really, really helpful to know as much as you can so that people will respect you when you talk to them. Mm-hmm. My strength is writing and working with actors, and coming from that angle. And my weakness is the visual storytelling of everything. And I know that. And so I really try to read and research and ask questions and watch movies with my eyes open for the visual storytelling aspect of it, because I know, you know, I don't want to pull the woman card, but coming onto set as a woman, I don't want to give people a reason to say, well, she shouldn't be directing.
Right. And that is exactly what they sound like, too.
42 lenses, you know, or whatever. You know.
Yes. Excuse me. Do you think that Joan is ideal for this? I don't think so. She's... No, I don't think so either. Me.
Yeah. You don't have to. You can say, you know, hey, you know, do as you wish, or DP, make a shot list for me and tell me what you want to do. You can do that. It's very fluid like that, but it helps to be a little bit informed.
Now, you're doing stand-up comedy, which is, I think, hands down the toughest gig in the world. Literally, you know, dancers have the choreography, they can work off of that. Musicians have an instrument or a microphone they can kind of hide behind, light show, lasers. But man, when it's just you on stage with a microphone, that's tough. Do you prefer to work alone like that, or more in an ensemble when you're working with actors?
I mean, I think as long as an audience is there, it's good. Like, so whether I'm alone on stage or whether I have, you know, 800 people on stage, I think actually the toughest thing to perform to is an empty house when there's only one or two people there. Because with comedy, it's a very give and take type of medium. Like, you know, comedy doesn't work unless you laugh, unless you're laughing. Right. And that's why they put laugh tracks underneath all of the sitcoms, because it's not an empty art form. Like, there is a call and response, and if there's no response, then that's when it's the toughest, because you're like, okay, are people liking this? So when you have more people in your cast, there's more people in the audience, so sometimes that helps. But yeah, I don't know. For me, being on stage in general is kind of just like a eye of the storm. It's really calming and really, it's kind of like the zone for me. So as long as I'm prepared and there's an audience, it's fine, no matter how many people.
Tell us a little bit about your upcoming show. You've got a stand-up show coming up, and then you've got a web series that you're producing, and more.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, so I'm really excited about this one. I'm actually hosting, so I'm moving into hosting comedy shows because I met all of these amazing comedians, and I thought it'd be really fun to do a holiday special with these really crazy good comedians. I mean, I don't know if you know Kelsey Grammer, but Kelsey Grammer's daughter, Spencer Grammer. I met her. We did stand up together. She's going to be in it. I have, a bunch of really amazing people like Amy Fairley and, Osco. I mean, it's crazy. There's like a lot of diverse, really interesting perspectives for the holidays, especially. And they're each going to do 5 minutes, which is a short amount of time. But the reason they're doing 5 minutes is because it's going to be an hour special. But we're going to live stream it on the internet, so everyone here can watch it. Nice. You can also watch it afterwards, because I'm going to put up an additional special, edited special, for like family friendliness. And what's cool about the 5 minutes is you can, if you're not into this person, you can kind of scrub through and you can watch the next person, which is terrible. But I found
practical.
What?
But practical. I mean, not everybody has the same funny bone, and yeah, I get it.
Exactly.
Sure.
Exactly, and it's not really anybody's fault. I noticed that at comedy shows because you'd be waiting and you're like, oh, I really don't like this. Oh, when is my friend gonna come up? Or whatever.
Yeah.
So everyone can watch it, and you don't even have to sit there the whole time and watch it. You can pause it, come back, whatever, but it's all holiday themed. So it's going to be really fun. We're doing it at this really cool space called the Drone Box in downtown LA. Drone Box is like this big studio. There's a stage. There's like 3 cameras.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm going to decorate the stage like Christmas. It's going to be great. And yeah, so I'll put that's on December 16th. It's Friday. So Friday night at 9 p.m. is the live, Pacific time is the live, and you can watch it at dronebox.com.
Nice.
Or you can Facebook Ha Holiday Comedy Show. Ha Holiday Comedy Show. Comedy Special. Ha Comedy Special on Facebook, and you can like that page. And I'm about to put up a little sizzle reel with all of the people involved, so it's good. You can kind of see who's going to perform and all of that, and it'll be really cool.
And so you're getting into producing content for the web. It sounds like you believe that the internet is like the next frontier of.
I don't know if it's the frontier necessarily. I think cable needs to figure itself out, but I do know that there is so much more access to audience through internet. Like I can put something up and you can watch it now. What we're doing right now. There's so much more power to the creative, because you don't need 8 executives going, oh well, I think that you should have been brunette in this. Like you can literally just give your creativity to your audience for nothing. I mean, I pay for it, but whatever. Like you don't have to, and you can enjoy. It's weird because it does really like saturate the internet with a lot of really interesting stuff that maybe with a group of executives it would have been a little better, but. I think it's a really powerful place for an artist to go to say, hey, let me give you a gift of entertainment, and let me show you what I've been working on or whatever. And so and I think it's so easy, especially Facebook. That's why I utilize Facebook a lot, because you are on it anyways because you're socializing, and it's so easy just to share and to connect and go, oh my gosh, Karen, have you seen this? Click, and then it's shared, and it integrates entertainment with your social life. a lot easier.
Absolutely. I've told people before that, I'm an entertainer. I'm not a journalist. But if I
Yeah.
were a journalist, when I see things happening on CNN, like the riots or the Ferguson situation or what's going on with the Native American Indians,
Yeah.
I could literally put a post on my Facebook and say, hey, if you'd like to be interviewed, call me. Right? And I would have access. I could literally have someone standing right there at the location and do an interview with them. It's not
Yep.
the kind of thing that I do, but I think it's amazing that that's possible
Yeah.
anymore. It's like it somehow changes something that we haven't seen yet exactly if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Um, who knows? We might be coming into the age of public executions. Who knows? But there's no way
Yeah.
to know yet if it's good or bad, right? Would you agree with that?
Yeah. Yeah, I think we'll figure it out. I think we're always scared of new technology. I'm sure when TVs came out, everyone was freaking out, like, what is this going to do to our radio?
Right.
But,
These three channels are going to rule the world.
Yeah, exactly. And they did. But, nobody's going to read books anymore.
Right.
All of our eyes will melt. Like, exactly. I'm sure people said that too.
Sure.
And I think every time something new comes along, it's very scary. But I think you have to just roll with it and try to stick to the morals that you have of how to handle that kind of technology. Mm-hmm. And as a group, we can figure it out. And it might be messy for a little while, but I think we'll figure it out as a culture.
It works
like, that's not cool to do, or I don't know. It'll work itself out. I think.
Now, you mentioned Kelsey Grammer earlier, and a weird thing happened when you did that, because Kelsey Grammer was Frasier, but the first thing that popped into my head when I made the association was him and Blueface as the character in the X-Men, which is a whole nother generation, and I'm sure some of those X-Men people have no idea what the F Frasier is in the first place, right? So then my final question for you is, as Kacey Spivey, do you already have a role that you would like for people to identify you as? Or is there a dream role that you say, you know what, in X number of years, when they mention me like Kelsey Grammer, I'd like them to say, oh, you mean the girl who played Wonder Woman? Or,
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't hang my hat on anything I've done so far. I've been really, really lucky to play a lot of great roles. But oh my gosh, this is a really tough question because I have a lot of roles I want to play. I would say, I want to play a superhero, obviously, who doesn't? Or a supervillain, that'd be great. Mm-hmm. But I would like to be known for like a Tina Fey type situation where I am showrunner / really relatable character, and people loved my show. That's what I would like, a Mindy Kaling or whatever. Mm-hmm. That's what I would like to be remembered as. And so that's kind of my dream role, is not just the role on camera, but also the role behind the scenes of really making creative decisions and having the power to create content and write and direct the show in a way that I think is fun and good for the audience. So that's what I want to do.
I'm just going to throw out, that was going to be my last question, but then one more better one came. What do you think personally of the work of some of the ladies that are doing what you want to do, like Melissa McCarthy, the great one I just watched, Trainwreck with Amy Schumer.
Yeah.
Right. These are two examples. They're doing exactly what you want to do. Like, they've got their own shows. Amy's sister does writing with her, so I'm sure Amy has a lot of creative control over what's going to happen on screen and what's not. And also Kristen Wiig is another one that, she's in a great position. Needless to say, this takes years to get to that point. And you've been in LA for only 3, but maybe in 13 years, you may be that powerhouse producer, writer, artist. You know what I'm saying? What do you think of those artists individually, where it relates to your success?
I mean, I'm a huge fan of everything they do. I love that they do comedy. You know, I mean, it's totally has been my inspiration. And I think because I've seen them do it, I went, that's what I want to do. Because I saw someone who looked like me doing it. You know, I mean, I also. Right. Yeah. I mean, I also look up to people like J.J. Abrams and stuff. I mean, he's not on camera or whatever, but, you know, people who are really hustling in the business, men and women. I think, you know, it's great because every single woman you mentioned is very unique. I mean, they all do comedy, but they are not the same in any way, shape, or form. And I feel the same way. I feel like I can, if I were to create a show, it would be very, very different from, you know, something that Melissa McCarthy does, or even Amy Schumer. I know she's blonde, but we're very different.
Sure.
So it is cool to go, you know, I can do that, and I can also be myself, and I can also do my own kind of humor. As long as the audience is there, and I can prove that there's an audience there, then yeah, the sky's the limit. So it's really encouraging, and I'm excited. I'm excited to kind of step into that soon.
Now I promise this is my last question.
You don't have to, it doesn't have to be.
Well, I only get so many a year, and I gotta, you know, no, so I wanted to see Amy Schumer's Trainwreck movie when it first came out, and I didn't get a chance to. Just life happened, and I finally got to see it like 2 nights ago. It was awesome. And of course, Kristen Wiig, Tina Fey, Melissa McCarthy's film that she did, one of the last ones. They're all Judd Apatow movies, right? And so in that, I noticed that the comedy shifts, and I was saying this to my girlfriend, it seems like they're romantic comedies, but they're really guy movies. Like, you know, even the fact that, you know, in Amy Schumer's Trainwreck movie, she plays a sports writer, which I'm sure at the board meeting they were like, no, she can't be a floral designer because guys aren't going to watch that. Guys won't want to go see it. But if she is hanging out with LeBron James,
right,
we got the guys. And that's really all we want. The guys just want to see her with LeBron James. So my question in all of that is, do you feel that the shape and tone of comedy has changed in, say, the last 10 years towards being a more masculine comedy? Like, even Bridesmaids was a very different comic style for a lady comedy. Does that make sense, what I'm asking?
Yes, and I think that people have clued into the fact that comedy is comedy, and we all share really similar human experiences, and have finally found a way to put them on screen. And even though there's a female lead or it's a female perspective, you can still relate to it no matter what. It's funny, I was in this writer's meeting, and it was all guys, one other woman, and then me. And I was the talent sitting there like, I shouldn't say anything. And they're the writers. And the head writer was like, all right, you guys, we got to write more women-based stuff this season. Okay, so, you know, really work at it. And one of the guys was like, dude, I try, but I just don't know I don't know what they do. I don't know. And one guy goes, well, you know, they drink wine and gossip with their girlfriends or their friends. And I'm sitting there like, and the one female, she goes, yep, that's about what I do. And I was like, they also like get flat tires on the way to work, and they also, like, you know, like people just don't understand that it, like, you know, you have to make breakfast, I have to make breakfast, you know, like everyone does the same stuff. It's the same human experience, and you know, it's just, so I think that, like, I think there isn't a big difference between female humor and male humor. I love the movie with LeBron, and I love everything about Trainwreck because it made me feel comfortable too, because I like to watch comedy that's exactly like that. And the rom-coms that, like, my mom will watch Lifetime movie rom-coms, and that's great, but, that's not my taste either. So it's like, comedy is a lot more broad and a lot more human than I think people, I don't think it fits into male or female, really. I think it can, Bridesmaids, like, pooping in the street or whatever,
right.
Like, that's hilarious whether you're female or male.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Well, a lot of things have changed though. Even the way they market those movies, like, they used to do the whole, like, she's the girl from Manhattan who he's the guy from, and they don't do that anymore. Now it's like you're just in it.
I think that was a result, honestly, I wasn't there, so I can't say it, but I think that was a result of men trying to be like, what will women like to watch?
Right. The maid who falls in love with the rich guy who hires her. Yeah, how really can it happen? I don't know.
And then women were like, actually.
Pretty Woman. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you're awesome. Hey, man, it's Kacey Spivey on the show today. Kacey, if we want to reach out and stalk you on the internet presently, how do we do that? How do we find you there?
You can follow me on all the social medias. It's at Hey, _Case, Kace. So you can find me there, and you can follow all my stuff.
And hey, is there a difference between the Kace, Casey, and the Kasey?
So my name is spelled Kacey, Casey. It's my parents' name. So Kevin and Charlotte are my parents' names, K and C.
Oh,
Casey.
Okay.
And then Case is what everyone calls me. So, like Ace, Case. Like,
Hey, been there, done it, got it. Hey, man, it's Kacey Spivey, and you know what I say at the end of every show, man? Live the life you love the life you live. Kacey Spivey, my guest, she's fabulous at what she does. Make sure you check out her movie online. Share it with people. Don't just check it out. Don't hoard it. Share it with a bunch of people. What's wrong with you? Kacey, thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
You rock. Thank you.